Hey there, everybody. Mystical souls. So glad that you are here tonight for the new moon astrology readings. If you are new here, my name is Patricia Tate, and I am a traditional evolutionary and Western astrologer. And I use whole sign and I also use Placidus. If you would like to know more information about what's going on, please go to my website at willowgracemystik.com. If you are a regular, thank you for being here and for supporting me. Welcome to everybody. So let's talk about a few things that are going on and some offerings. So this is the month of Leo, so Leo season. So all Leos out there, if you would like a natal chart, or actually it's a solar return, you can use the code Leo10 for 10% off of a consultation. Other things that I am offering, I am doing my next webinar, which is going to be on the eclipse cycles that we are shifting into, that represents Virgo and Pisces. It will start this fall, but the webinar is going to be on August 20th. They're $30. They are these interactive opportunities that we get together. They usually last about an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. They are recorded, so if you cannot be there live, you can always get them again and watch the replay of it later. And other things that I'm offering, let's see, every other Tuesday, because on the off Tuesdays I do the webinars. So please check out the Transit Talk webinar and check out my other offerings. Sign up for my email list at willowgracemystik.com. So let's talk about other things that, like this new moon that's going on. So the new moon, this new August energy in general, it's going to be focused on Leo and it's going to be focused on Virgo. So we have this fiery, intense energy of wanting to play and have a great time. And then we have everything start to move into Virgo, which is like the sign of fall, when we go back to school or go back to work or less vacations. And it's organized and structured and detailed. It's like harvesting the wheat, and it is clean, and so we have all of these things going on, making August high and low with this new moon. So let's talk about this. I want to bring your attention to all of this in Leo for the August 4th new moon. So you know that new moons, they always represent a clean slate, a new beginning, a fresh start. It's time when we plant the seeds to move forward. And so we have the sun representing you, your soul, your identity, and then your innermost thoughts, the moon, coming together and uniting their energy, saying, let's plant a seed for something that we want to create that brings us fulfillment and joy and pleasure. Now, on the same day, there's going to be two other transits that are going to occur. The first is going to be Mercury. Mercury is now going to be, it has been slowing down, but it's now going to be stationing retrograde. It means it's now going to stop at 4 degrees and backtrack from Leo back into Virgo over some themes in your life for the last 2 weeks. So if you go back over the last 2 weeks of your life and you say, okay, what are some things that have been going on and what's happened with communication, travel, technology, all of these topics are going to come back up for review or for a readjustment. I look to always work with the energy instead of like fighting the flow of it. I look to say, if I know that this is going to occur, I make sure that I back up the computer, back up the phone, knowing that all plans or everything that's being done right now, I might have to go back and revisit. And revisiting is not always a bad thing. Sometimes when we backpedal, we gain more information and we're able to fine tune and tweak it. Because this is going from Virgo into Leo, it literally will be a shift from one energy into another. The last thing that I want to draw your attention to is Venus. Venus is in the last degree of Leo. It's in the 29th degree. I know that I've talked about 29th degree and 0 degrees a lot, but in this year, 29 is an anaretic degree. It means like it's a final exam. It's the final of something. So we have Leo, Venus in Leo. Venus is what we love, who we love. It is about bringing two people, places, or things together. So this can be a love of friendship or love of good food, love of things, like wanting to connect or bring together. It's like contracts and negotiations and compromises. And so when we bring these two things together, it's in the final degree of Leo, and then it's going to move into the sign of Virgo. When it moves into Virgo, the energy kind of shifts. Instead of being about me, and it moves into, how can I help you? How can I help take care of you? What can I do to support you or assist you? Because Venus in Virgo is more service oriented, and the gifts become more appreciative of not glitzy and glamoury. It's like things that I could truly use. So August 4th brings about a lot of energy that's going on for everybody with a shift, a starting of something new, but a backpedaling of the way that you're communicating. And then we bring in Venus. So I'm hoping all of this is making sense. I'm going to check the chat and see what is going on there with everybody. See who is in the house tonight. Oh, Miss KT, hello from Eastbourne, UK. Well, hello to you. I am in the great state of Ohio currently. I am usually in one place for almost 6 months, and then I travel for the other, and would love to come and visit your space there. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I greatly appreciate you joining us. Hello, Crystal. Hello, Grand Chiefess. Yeah, definitely hold up with this August energy. Shall I go ahead and make the purchase for you now, love? Yeah, you should definitely get in the queue. Anybody who's interested, please use the, there should be a sign up list in the comment section. I need your exact date, time, and location of birth. If you give me free reign, I pull up your chart and I just start talking about everything that I see, unless you have a specific question, and I'll do the best that I can to answer it. Miss Katie Koo, how does this work? And can I have a reading? Absolutely. You just sign up to get in the queue. It's a $40 PayPal, it's US dollars, donation. And then I take the information and I pop up your chart and I just start talking about it. Oh, hello, Chelsea K from Alaska. Girlfriend, I hope it is that you are staying warm up there, because this is your season. Like, is this when you have more daylight time? Like, isn't that like 11 hours of daylight time there? I hope so. I'm hoping so. All right. Let's see. Chica, hello. How are you? And Serena, hello there. I am enjoying my day. I am looking at August as how can I take a deep breath and pause and reflect before I move forward with a lot of actions, because August is going to have these really high points, and then it's going to have these quick jabs that just jolt us right back into reality. Normally, August is all fun and joy and play, and this August is more of learning. And it's learning to pivot, learning to breathe and pause, and learning to release control over things, and quick shifts, because we're going to have squares and conjunctions. Squares are like these tense points in order to push forward change, and there will be squares to Uranus and Saturn, and then there's going to also be the conjunction of like when the two planets come together. Like you can see, let me circle it for you. Like the Jupiter-Mars conjunction is going to be coming up, which is absolutely great. But then you're also going to have Mars squaring Saturn. So like we have all of these, yay, let's move forward, and then we have this, this is like stopping me and pausing me and make me pull back with restriction. And why do I have this restriction, and what should I do with it? So yeah, that is the energy of what we are working with. So let me see who I first have in the queue and pull a couple things up here and move forward. Let's see. Oh, Chelsea, 20 hours of daylight. That's what I didn't know it was 20. Well, good for you. I knew that it extended on with each day, but you are on my bucket list to get on up there and visit. Right now, I am tied kind of to this area with, I have a daughter who's going to be getting married. So yeah, there's going to be a little hand fasting going on here, and then we're going to be exploring the rest of the United States for the next 6 months after October. So definitely would love to make it up and see the 20 hours of daylight. And I've heard about the growing of so the daylight brings like the fields and the crops and everything grows really big. Yeah, I'm a field trip kind of girl. All right, so let me see who I have first in the queue. Let's talk. Okay. All right. So, Brandon, I know you had left me a message that said that you would have to watch the replay. So I don't think that you're in the queue at the moment, but that's okay because I know that you're going to be able to watch this on the replay. So let's talk about some big things that are going on with you. First off, you're getting ready to have a Mars return. We have Mars and Jupiter at that will be together in just another week here. So this is about initiating something new. A Mars return. Mars takes 2 years to make a cycle around your chart, and Mars is where we initiate. We start something, and we want to push forward with a new cycle of something in your life. Well, this happens to be in your 5th house of fun and joy and pleasure, and it will be in a harmonious aspect with the planet of Saturn that's in your 1st house of self. So whatever you are initiating, starting, beginning, this is in a harmonious aspect of initiating, and let's move forward with this. And this will help me. This will also be in a trine to your natal Venus. So this could be a side gig that you want to make money at. The 5th house is not just love and joy and pleasure but it's the house where we take risks. And so this is you saying, I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to take a risk. I want this to bring money into me. The 9th house is in the sign of Libra. So there could be like legal things that are attached with it. And this could be publishing or selling of something on a grander scale. The next thing I see is you are having, let's talk about this. You're having a new moon in your 7th house of partnership. I always say that the 7th house is your +1. It's your business partner, your significant other, it's your clients. The 7th house is where we have these contractual agreements, and it's open enemies and exes, but it's about love and negotiation, and where we verbally connect with other people. So it's unwritten or written communication between you and others. And so you starting off with a new moon here is, I'm starting a new cycle of something. I'm planting the seeds that this is what I want to grow from this planetary aspect. We also have Mercury in your 8th house that is now getting ready to station retrograde. It's at the 4th degree. It will, whenever it does come back, it will cross your Chiron. So Mercury is in your 8th house of your shared resources. It's your debt that you owe. It's alimony, child support. It is sexuality. It is retirement savings. It's personal sacrifice. It's in the house of birth, death, and rebirth and transformation. So you are really actively working towards, how do I transform my assets that I have tied up with other people? And then you're going to bring Mercury, when it goes back into the 7th house, this can bring people back into your life. So Mercury, so communication in the 7th house could be old contracts, old negotiations, open enemies, exes, clients that you used to work for. It can literally bring them back around. Mercury represents all types of communication and different types of travel. The other planet that I want to bring in is Venus. Venus is what you love, who you love. And this is in such a like you are enjoying Venus being in your seventh house of partnership. This is, I feel connected to my partner. I want to like bond with you on a deep basis, and I want to have fun and joy and pleasure, and let's get on out there and do these things. And like you are the life of the party with other people. When Venus moves into your eighth house, this will make things more realistic with gifts or support that you give to others. This is looking at what somebody really needs and being attentive to those personal needs in order to support them. This is going to cross your own Mercury, your own Sun, your own Jupiter. Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? Here is the goal. How do I get there? And I want to I want my investments to be financially rewarding. So, Brandon, I'm really hoping all of this makes sense to you. I love all of this in your chart. Not saying that there's not going to be difficulty. Let's just talk for a hot second about the difficulty. With this conjunction right here with your Mars and Jupiter that's going to be happening, you're also going to have a square to Saturn. Saturn is literally sitting on top of your moon. Your feelings of how do I feel secure with my money, my resources, my cash, my property, my specific skill set. You wanting to take a leap of faith, expand on something. The fifth house is the house of self-expression and creativity, and it's these activities, and you are feeling bound by the obligation to, I need to finish some of these things that I've been working on before I start anything new. It's, I want to initiate, I'm ready to do this, the sky is the limit. And then the square to Saturn says, I need to get down to business. And because Saturn is sitting right on top of your moon, you are really feeling the effects of looking at your inward flaws and knowing that you are in charge of your destiny, and looking at your gifts and your talents and needing to capitalize on those. So yeah, I'm hoping that all of this makes sense to all of you, Brandon, and I definitely am happy that you are here. Let me see. All right, Xavier, you get in the queue in the comments below. And Miss KT, thank you. I'm so glad. Okay, it's Katie. I see everything. Alrighty. And then Chica, one question. You're a Libra and you have lots of things going on in your life. Okay, you have a lot of things going on in your life because the eclipses have been activating it since last fall. It's going to continue until next spring. This is a lot of things that have been activated for you. Hey, Chelsea K, I'm glad that payment has been sent. Okay, traveling for 2 weeks. Okay, let me see who I have next in the queue and jump on that. Alrighty. I got it. Sorry, it takes me, look, I'm ruled by Mercury, and I'm a slow and steady kind of gal to make sure I get it right because I don't want to screw up. Perfectionist. I got it. All right. All right, Miss KT, thank you for your patience and for waiting. First, I just want to take a little look around and see what's going on. Look, you got a lot of Sagittarius energy. This is a huge stellium. I don't know what your, okay. Let's talk about that. Anybody who's a Sag rising, anybody, because I'm married to a Sag rising, you're not just a Sagittarius rising, you're a Sagittarius sun. Like people see you, it's the more the merrier. Saturn, I need to have some kind of structure or rigidity Saturn wants to restrict. Jupiter wants to not. Jupiter wants to expand. Uranus wants freedom, liberation, and wants to break free. And so you have a lot of this energy that's bound together to say, how can I have all of this and have Saturn with limitations? Saturn, people who are Sagittarius rising or Sagittarius sun, it's often the more the merrier, or like one drink too many, or if I'm going to have this, I might as well also have this. It's really hard to say no. It's like the cookies are sitting there and I could sit and eat 3, and oftentimes other people, Saggies or Sag risings, they have a hard time saying no to the extra. It's overindulgence. The thing with Sagittarius is it is more than. It is wanting to have more than, experience more than. And that's where your sun is. And so the more than can be faith and hope and belief and education and religion and spirituality. And so the more than can also be what you are working on fighting. If I could talk just a second about your nodes, and like just for a hot second, because you have all of this in Sagittarius, and then you've also got this in Scorpio in your 12th house. I don't know how much you know about astrology and the nodes and the 12th house. The 12th house is the hidden house. It's the house of secrets, addictions, hospitalizations. It's also where we come face to face with our demons and we connect with the divine. It's where we have this opportunity to make these connections. And so your south node in the sign of Scorpio, I also have south node in Scorpio. So I get it. Mine is not conjunct Pluto though. And mine is not in my 12th house. South node conjunct Scorpio is, I feel everything deeply, intuitive, intense, needing security. Yours is with Pluto. Pluto is always a trauma signature wherever it is. And so yours happens to be in your 12th house. So this brings about trauma from a past life or from generational, like great-grandparent to a grandparent to a parent to you, brought in. And how do I overcome this? You chose to redo it again in this lifetime with different scenarios. The different scenarios have to do with your north node and in your 6th house of your daily habits. The 6th house is mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being, and what do I do to take care of and nurture myself, and how do I not become a slave to other people? How do I focus on first caring for myself? And the south node, it's really easy to get lost in the south node. We don't even grow into our south node until we've had our first Saturn return at around the age of 28, 29, and 30. And so with all of this energy, you have a lot of things that are available to you that are difficult. A lot of lessons that like face you in the, like actively face you in, like actively face you. I'm going to look at where the transits are today. Hold on here. Let me backtrack with this. So I'm going to check this. Okay, so everything makes sense to you so far. Let's see. Move this. I'm going to buy wheel. Yeah, I was getting to the addiction part. Yeah, I just wanted you to understand like where you're coming from. Okay, so let's talk about where things are right now. Oh, you cannot see the wheel. Hold on. There we go. All right. So currently, remember that you are Sagittarius rising, so your planet that you follow throughout the zodiac is Jupiter. Jupiter is your ruling planet. Jupiter is currently in your partnership sector. The partnership sector is open enemies, exes, one-on-one relationships. This is looking, how do I face my demons? Who do I look at for support? It is right on top of your Chiron. Your Chiron is your wound. Your Chiron is at 12 degrees. So we know that there was an incident of something that happened at or around the age of 11, 12, 13 in your connection with other people, of communication. And so from there, you've got this wound that you're going to be working on. And I would say 2.5 years ago, there was 2.5 to a year ago, there were a lot of things that were occurring with the nodes. You had a nodal return. Okay, I'm going to back up because I'm not 100% sure you would know what a nodal return is. So let me clear these are the nodes that are activating our life, and they go opposite of the regular planets, and they activate an area of our life for 18 months. Last year, you had a nodal return, meaning the nodes came back to a point of where you were born for a wake up, come to Jesus, we need to be on the right track, move forward. If you are consistently moving forward on the right path now, Aries is the energy of I have to take initiative. I have to be able to do this. The South Node in Libra is I have to be able to find boundaries with people. I have to be able to say no to things. The South Node in Libra in your 11th house is I have to switch my hopes, my wishes, my dreams, my goals, my networking strategy, and I have to be able to work with that. So knowing that's going to be that's happening, if you are already on the right path, then this is going to support where you are going. The nodes are going to be moving into the sign of Pisces and Virgo starting this fall. Where's your new moon? Okay, let me back up and talk about a new moon. All of this, you have a new moon starting in your 9th house. If beating your addictions means I have to move, then that's what you're going to have to do. I know personally we work with this in my family. I don't know how much I can give without I personally understand this and I personally get it. And Pluto conjunct the South Node is a trauma signature that you have brought things in with you, and this will be a continual learning lesson. I don't want to say it a battle because battle sets it up for difficult. This will be something that you will continuously work on. The new moon in your 9th house is I can move somewhere. I can make a new family somewhere. I can make new connections with cross-cultural education and religion and spirituality. And this is in a harmonious aspect with you needing to see that other people doing things, and that I don't know exactly what your addictions are, but I do know that you always take one and replace it with another and another. And then so it's about, I have to have healthy addictions. And so right now you have Uranus in your 6th house of your daily habits. And so it's totally shaking up your life, your day to day. I need to find a mentor. I need to find a guide. I need to be able to take care of myself. I need to be able to think outside the box with my mental, physical, spiritual, emotional health, well-being, of how can I do all of these things. So I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. Okay, good. Look, weed and alcohol. Okay, since I know that it's weed and alcohol, let's talk about this just for a second. The eclipses are going to be moving into the sign of Pisces and Virgo. Virgo, you're good. Pisces, whenever the eclipses move into, or anything with Pisces is activated, Pisces is dreamy, intuitive, it's psychic, and it wants that really great feeling. And it also feels everybody else's feels. And oftentimes, people who take advantage of substances in order to tune out and not feel, that's what can come from it. And so I'm encouraging you to use caution. Make sure that you have a strong foundation set up. And if that means moving or a community. It's building your own community. That's what you've been. The eclipses say that you are working on. I need to be able to invest in myself. I need to be cautious with risk and excitement because it's the North Node in Aries and it's all about you. And so I am hoping all of this makes sense to you. You really have this. You've got this. Know that you can work to replace some things with alternative other things. And I'm hoping that you keep me. I'm invested in your journey now. So keep me updated on your progress. Yeah, hoping to move soon. Yeah, you should definitely make plans. With this sun and moon up here, the sun and moon in your ninth house is I need to be able to explore. And Mercury retrograde in your career sector, going back into your ninth house means you might go back to somewhere that you've already been to. And so, yeah, I'm hoping all of that makes sense, Miss Katie. Alrighty, let me see who else is next in the queue. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me. All right, Chelsea, thank you for waiting. All righty. Oh, for crying in a bucket. There we go. Is that right? Yep, 1969. I got it. 606. All right. Thank you for waiting, and make sure I have everything right. It pulls it up. All right, your question, traveling for 2 weeks. Oh, okay, let's just talk about traveling for 2 weeks, August 9th. Okay, so August 8th is the Lion's Gate. I'm feeling like I'm closing out cycles for fear. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I totally get it. August is a month of a lot of things that are going to be happening, like high, 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 low, low, low. All right, so let's take a look at you. Oh, you're a sun in Pisces and Pisces rising sign. So Jupiter and Neptune are your planets to follow. Your North Node is at 0 degrees Aries. So you've had this nodal return. I'm going to pull up the bi-wheel because I think once you see everything together, this is a lot of energy that opposes this energy. Having your South Node in Libra, conjunct Jupiter and Uranus. Jupiter is the planet that wants to expand and higher beliefs, philosophy, religion, happy. It's the gift of the zodiac. And Uranus is freedom, liberation, and offers shock and surprise. You can never have a plan. And so yours is conjunct your South Node. We always look to the South Node and say, this is where things went wrong in another lifetime, and that you decided in this lifetime to come and correct it. And so you were aligned in another lifetime and had your resources connected with somebody else's alimony, child support, debt, your retirement, this could have been sexuality, like it's the house of deep psychological bonding and connection with others. And when you were connected with somebody, you literally lost everything, your identity, everything, like you lost everything to them. Now, in this lifetime that you're incarnating into, you have your North Node in Aries, in your second house of self-worth, cash, property, and resources. I, Chelsea, need to be focused on my skill set, my money, my movable property, my values, my opinions, my possessions, my sensual pleasures, my work ethic, my self-esteem, my financial condition. I need to worry about me before I worry about other people. And so you have your wound, your Chiron wound. You have Saturn, the planet of restriction and limitation here. And you have Venus. How do I make money? By initiating things. And so all of this is going on. Now, let me pull up the new moon, because that's going to give us the transits of what's going on. Oh, for crying in a bucket. There we go. All right, so you are starting this new moon, this cycle that's going to be on the 4th. Right after you start this new cycle, I want you to pay attention to this guy, Mercury. On August 4th, Mercury is going to station retrograde. It's in your partnership sector. Now, it's going to be going back. Mercury rules over your 4th house of home, and Mercury rules over your 7th house of partnership. So whenever Mercury stations retrograde or goes back over things in your life, it's topics that revolve around your home, your personal life, your living situation, your ancestors, your foundation, what you build your life upon, and clients, best friends, significant others, one-on-one relationships. You will, from the August 9th to the Mercury's going to be stationed retrograde until the 29th or 28th of this month. And so all of this month, from when you're traveling, Mercury is going to go from partnership, hiccups with traveling, lost things, communication mishaps, bringing people back into your life, or a revisit or a renegotiation of contracts and negotiations of like things that you want to purchase, things that you want to buy. Then Mercury is going to go back into your 6th house of fun and joy and pleasure. And when it does this will have you going back over your daily habits. So I see travel is going to be filled with if you look at it from the aspect of, I need to slow down, I need to pause, I need to enjoy the moment that I'm in, there's going to be highs and there's going to be lows. On August 14th, Mars is going to conjunct Jupiter. I'm going to be putting out a video for that, I think in the next 2 days, because it's already done. The very next day, Mars is going to square Saturn. I'm going to have a separate video out for that, because it's two things that are going on. First, you have Mars coming together with Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter's one of your signs that you follow in your 4th house. I want to expand. I want to initiate. I want to go after. You are having a Mars opposition. This has something to do with your career, your job, your reputation, authority figures. There will be something that you want to initiate and go after that opposes something that you started a year ago. So think back a year and say, what was going on in my life? Then the very next day, on the 15th, Mars is going to square Saturn. Let me get rid of all this. Mars is going to square Saturn in your 1st house of self. So we know that, again, it's going to bring your attention back to home, back to who you are, or a family situation, or something that has to do with real estate, property, your personal life. And the 1st house represents your identity, who you are. When you are away from home and you're going through these things, this is I wish I knew what you were like doing for this, like if it's for just travel or vacation or for fun. Know that it doesn't matter what it's going to be for that 2-week period. There's going to be these opportunities for major growth and exploration, and then quickly there's going to be this limitations. I want to do this, and why am I being limited? I also want to bring up the full moon, because the 19th is going to be the full moon. So just one more thing. The full moon is going to be on that day. Jupiter is going to square Saturn. And remember, Jupiter is your chart ruler. Jupiter is going to say Jupiter wants to expand. So this has something to do with like purchasing more property, or your house expanding, or things in your home. With Saturn, there will be limits and restrictions about what you want to do with it. And then there's a full moon on the same day. So full moons always bring about endings or closures. So that'll be a day filled with like high, 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 low, low, low. At the same time, okay, one more thing. your nodal return. So I really want you to think back to what was started in your life last fall. And it would have been September, October. So you initiated something new in your life that had to do with you and your personal focus on your resources, your money, your skill set, and you finding a balance with you and other people. And so this is a realignment of, because the nodes are going to be shifting into your first house of self here. I'm excited about that for you. So Chelsea, I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you as I skimmed around your chart. So thanks. Thank you, Chelsea, for trusting me. Alrighty. Let me see who is next in the queue. Hey, Grand Chiefess. First, let me say thank you for trusting me with your consultation. I greatly appreciate that everybody is here tonight. And 6 a.m. already. Let's see about you. Okay, so no specific questions, so I'm just going to roam around your chart. So the first thing I see when oh, you got a lot of Virgo. Oh, you're a Scorpio rising. Oh, I like it. I like it. You've got this beautiful water going on here, and okay, a lot of things going on. I don't know how much you know about astrology, so I'm going to dive in and just start talking a little bit about what I see that jumps right out at me. So you have your South Node in Aquarius at 29 degrees. So think of this as a final exam lifetime of learning these lessons. In a past lifetime, so think about Aquarius themes. I am going to take care of everybody. I'm going to think about the whole. And it's in your fourth house of home and family. So think about not having any family of your own and not being able to take care of your own because you're having to take care of everybody that's in the home. Now, the sun conjunct your South Node usually represents energy of somebody, I would say masculine or an authority figure, somebody who is like a partner or somebody who was with you in that lifetime who you would have felt, seen, or met up again with them in this lifetime and had to work through the same issues, and you're giving yourself an opportunity for a different outcome. You in this lifetime are supposed to be focused on the North Node, your direction, Leo, fun, joy, pleasure, 10th house, career, responsibility, authority. You are supposed to have your voice heard. Take care of the pride. Have pride in yourself and not have anybody. The only way I can describe this that comes to my mind is you don't tame a cat. And in this lifetime, you are not meant to be tamed or tethered or held back. You are meant to have freedom and liberation and learn for your voice to roar. Knowing this, a lot of Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy in as your rising sign is how do I learn to trust? How do I learn? Well, wherever we have Scorpio, people have to learn those lessons through their interactions with other people. And so you learn lessons somewhat of the hard way and by experience, and then you need to remember them. I do want to give you, I want to bring up one more thing because it's considered to be a skipped step. I don't know if you can see this, but do you see the lines here that are square to Uranus? Whenever a planet is square to the nodes. We call it a skip step or a misstep. It's one other layer that you added in to ensure that you were going to work through these lessons, and it's a tension point. So whenever anything activates your sun, north node, south node, or Uranus, it kind of goes off in all different in three different directions at the same time to say, I'm going to make you really uncomfortable so you can integrate this. Uranus is, I need to be liberated. I need freedom. I need to be able to explore. You cannot make me do anything in your first house of your identity, who you are. I absolutely love this for you. So, okay, so let me pull up where you are with the transits with the new moon. So, my favorite grand chiefess, let's take a look at all of this in your chart. So you're having a new moon, a fresh start, a clean slate, a planting of seeds. What are you doing for your career, your reputation, you as an authority figure? The 10th house is the top of the chart that is about your public life. It's usually business related. It's about promotions and achievement and responsibilities and you seeking success. Having a new moon there is, I need to plant seeds for my future. So let's talk about the future of what do you want to plant seeds for? Mercury is currently in your 11th house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals, and who do you network with. And so in the community sector of your life, it is, what do I want to move forward with? Who do I want to move forward with? Who am I aligned with? How do I make this happen? Mercury is going to go across your MC. It's like exact right now at 4 degrees. Well, it will be exact at 4 degrees. Your MC, so the MC is, what do I need for my career, my job, my responsibility? Like me as an authority figure. And so you need these connections. Your connections help you to get where you need to be. And you setting these goals, this is in alignment with. This Mercury will have you stopping, pausing, and thinking, what have I done in the past that's worked? Who has come back in from my past? Is this closure? Is this a second go round? The 11th house brings up topics of your social circle, shared creativity, teams, groups, kindred spirits. It's the humanitarian side of our life. That's just Mercury. And Mercury rules over not just your 11th house, but your 8th house of birth, death, and rebirth and transformation. You've got a lot going on here, opening up the avenues of either healing of yourself or how can I heal myself, and then how can I use my skill set to connect and bond or help other people. Having anything in the 8th house brings in you with other people. And then look, Venus in her last degrees. Venus is going to be moving into your 11th house. This could mean you stepping up and heading up groups or organizations or things that you want to start. Hold on, I want to clean the slate here so I can look one more time. Pluto in your 12th house. That's kind of rough. In the sign of Libra, how do you find balance? I assume by your name, Grand Chiefess, that you do tap into otherworldly topics. And so anything in the 12th house is our personal unconscious. It's where we dream. It's where we connect to other realms, astral travel, astral projection, yoga, meditation, ancestors, spirit guides. You have Pluto here. And so these nodes have really been, because it's the south node, giving you the opportunity to pull from past experiences how can I pull from where I've been in the past, not just this lifetime, like past lifetimes, and what is my skill set, and how do I tap into that? How do I How do I do the shamanic work? How do I tap into my dreams? How do I connect to the spiritual realm? And with the South Node there for healing purposes. And on this day, your North Node is going to be right on top of your personal Venus of love, money, resources, and the North Node, the direction of Aries. I need to take direction of my health, well-being, and my daily habits, and how do I find a balance between home and work. So I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. Yeah, I'm looking around here and see what else is going to be going on. I love all of this for you. I'm sure that you're going to be happier when the nodes get out of your 12th and your 6th house, and that the shift will actually start this September 8th. Actually, you're going to start to feel the shift in the middle of August. So hopefully this makes sense to you. Thank you, Grand Chiefess. Keep me posted on what's going on with you. Alrighty. Let me see who is next in the queue.
It's Joe.
Joe. I got it. All right. January 11th, I got this. I appreciate everybody being in the queue and pausing and waiting for me and joining me. Let me make sure I spell it right.
And Chief just wanted to know what was the best date to launch your ebooks.
All right. Okay. Grant you the best date to launch your ebooks. Okay. Mercury is stationing retrograde. I don't like to do anything during Mercury retrograde that includes anything with writing, journaling, publishing, or any of those topics. I wait until Mercury is out of retrograde. There's going to be one more short window if you want to do it this year. If it cannot be done this year during, hold on. It'll be like middle of October to November 7th, short window. If not, you got to wait until spring, and then you'll have more success at that time. So definitely, hopefully this makes sense with short window if everything is ready, and the eclipses will boost it and help it. And if not, definitely put a pause until after the holidays. All right, thanks. All right, so let's talk about Joe. Okay. Should I walk away or stay in negotiations to buy a new construction investment property? Okay. Can we just talk about San Antonio for just a hot second? The eclipses went over Texas. One went right, one went left. X marks the spot. So Texas is a hot spot. Facing multiple delays. I can understand it with revisions. Make up for risk and opportunity. Maintaining peace of mind and harmony. Yeah, I totally get that. As a second property, considering these goals in the best interest to walk away or sit a while with it to extend the contract, to close on the property at the end of August if the seller concessions mitigate. Okay, so I think I understand everything that you're saying. So you're looking at property. Let me look at what you've got here. Okay, let me pull up the buy wheel and look at exactly where you are. And that way, if I have any questions, you're still in the chat to mother. There we go. All right, anything that has to do with Texas currently is a hot spot. Texas is just volatile. Quick, hard, fast, everything is changing. Eclipses come and they eclipse people, places, and things in and out of our lives. And that is what's happening partly with the United States, but mainly with the whole Texas area. I believe that your North Node is in Sagittarius with a stellium up at the top of your chart. I need to make a name for myself. I need to, it's your reputation. It's everything about you. You should, every time you want to follow what's going on in your life with that house, you follow the ruling planet of it. And so you've got Jupiter conjunct Mars in your fourth house, and this will, like, it's on top of your south node. How do I release this property? How do I release this? Like, the fourth house represents real estate, property, traditions, landscaping. Okay, let's talk about a couple of dates. Mars conjunct Jupiter is going to be on the 14th. This conjunction is going to be exact right here on top of your south node. How do I get rid of this? How do I release this? Mars wants to go after. Jupiter wants to expand. I want the biggest bang for my buck. The very next day, Mars is going to be in a square with Saturn. Saturn is in your first house of self, of like who you are, your identity. What do I accept? How do I accept this? I need more. I want to bring in, you are having a Jupiter square. Jupiter. Now, fortunately, Jupiter is, even if you have a square with Jupiter, it takes things that were bad and makes them not quite as bad. And so this is you wanting to, Saturn in Pisces is like, everybody has Saturn in Pisces, but you have it in your first house of your identity, of who am I? And the nodes are going to be moving into those two signs of Virgo and Pisces. So the nodes are shifting into the, I guess I'm looking at this and saying, if you can get rid of this, it needs to go in August. You have Mercury. Mercury is on August 4th. Mercury is going to station retrograde in your seventh house. And so the seventh house is contracts. It's social contracts. It's promises. It's the handling of contracts and legal matters. It's bringing people, places, and things back into your life. So this could bring in somebody else that's already looked at the property, somebody who needs to take a second look at it, or something is not signed correctly. Mercury rules over your seventh house and your fourth house. So we know that everything that you do that has to do with contracts will have to do with housing, homes, buildings, structures, because that's your it's your fourth house. It rules Mercury, and contracts and negotiations and the communication, email, phone, text. So between now and the August 4th, you have seen, like, I want you to go back 2 weeks. You have seen everything that's going to be affected by Mercury. On August 4th, Mercury is going to slow down and say, and now I have to go back over this. Now I have to reread it, revise it. Somebody didn't sign this. This contract is wrong with this. It is going to bring it back into your sixth house of being organized, being structured, being detail-oriented with it, and being focused on what is the end goal. I'm hoping that, like, this is making sense to you. I want to give you a couple other days. The full moon, this full moon is not going to be like this new moon in Leo is absolutely amazing. I'm going to love it. Everybody's going to love it. There's a lot of great things going on with it. The full moon, Jupiter is going to square Saturn. Full moons always are very emotional, feelings, intuitive, and fullness, secrets coming out. Things being that we haven't seen are now being revealed. And so now we can see them. And so Jupiter is going to square your Saturn in your first house of yourself, your identity. And this will be, what do I do? Do I cut my losses? You will be torn between these two areas of your life, needing to make this decision. And, oh goodness, let me see what else. I'm going to read your question one more time to make sure that I've clearly answered it, because I don't see any comments from you in the queue. So I want to make sure that I'm answering your question, because August is big. August is big for you. All right. Been a deal for a month. Multiple delays. The delays are not going to stop. I would love to say that they're going to stop, but they're not. It's going to be delays with construction, delays with contracts. I can cancel the contract or stay in it with revisions that might make up for my rest and opportunity. Profitability. Your North Node in Aries right now means that you're truly focused on your own personal resources, money, cash, property. Your South Node is sitting on top of Pluto, and Pluto is the planet of birth, death, rebirth, and transformation. How can I transform what I'm doing into money for myself? Not a bad thing, it's a good thing. And so that should be like your top priority there. Mitigate some of the risks. Okay, I'm just letting you know that considering these goals, walk away, or is it worthwhile to extend? Look, know that you are not done with the miscommunication, because this is the beginning of the Mercury retrograde. Mercury hasn't even stationed retrograde yet. This is where Mercury shows us what it's going to go back over in our life. And then on August 4th, then Mercury takes the trek backwards and says, now let's fix it. Now let's alter it. I don't think that you're going to cut. I think you're really going to try to work some things out with this. It usually means that we need to both come to the table and we need to discuss some things. And then on August 28th, look, that's where we're going to be at a crossroads, and it's also going to be during a Mercury retrograde. So keep those dates in mind, that there will be these, okay, we're getting somewhere, and then we're not. So if you're up for the full ride, it'll be worth it in the end. If the payout is not going to be better in the end, because this is not going to be tied up, it's not going to be with a nice, neat bow until after the 28th. We are in the process of just moving towards the Mercury retrograde. And so whenever I see this in somebody's chart, I look at it and say, like, your Mercury is in the 12th house of Aquarius. You can think outside the box. You are feeling the weight of things because Pluto is like sitting on top of it. And this is going to be a call for yourself of how bad do you want this, and how much do you want? Because it's not going to be an easy fix. It's going to be all kinds of miscommunication, and it can be on your part and their part. And so, work with it and look at it as what will be the positive in the end. I'm ruled by Mercury, so whenever it stations retrograde, like 3 times a year, it totally affects me and myself and my career. So I have learned to say, Mercury tells me I need to slow down. I need to look at that contract, double check that contract, look at the names, look at the dates, make sure of things before I send them. Do I make mistakes? Absolutely, still do. Mercury teaches me to slow down and look for other things that are coming up. So I'm hoping that helps you make your decision as you move forward with this. Because, you got a lot. You have a lot going on there. All right. Oh, good. Okay, so you left a message in the chat. Oh, okay. Still struggling to finalize if I should stay or go in the deal. I wouldn't make a decision until that August 4th. Knowing on August 4th, there's going to be this new moon. Venus is going to move there, and Venus is, money. And what do you really want? When Venus moves into the 7th house, you're really going to try to be practical with what you are trying to do to please these other people. And so you'll know then whether you can actually do it or not. So hopefully that makes sense to you. All right. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me, and keep me posted. Keep me posted on this, because now I'm invested into what's going to happen with this. All righty. Let me see who is next in the queue. Shiny Gems, you are next in the queue. Thank you for being here. I have missed you, my friend. Good Lord, hold on. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, my friend, let's talk about this. It's let's just talk about August in general. Like, all right, so you want to know what's in store? Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, you want me to look at hers too? I can totally do that. And what's in store? Albany, New York. Yep. Okay, let's talk. Let's talk about you first. All right, Shiny Gems, I absolutely love this new moon here for you. All right, Venus is your chart ruler, so wherever she goes, we know that we need to follow her. She's going to be in her last degrees. I don't think that you were here at the beginning, and I missed you, by the way. Only made one mistake where I forgot to share the chart, and then, of course, mentioned your name out loud. So, we're having a new moon, new moons, fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings, and this is with your goals moving forward. Who are you connected with? Who are you aligned with? Venus is, 3 things are going to happen in the same day. We're going to have a new moon in Leo, and the sun rules over your 11th house, and the moon rules over your career. So this is looking at where do I want to go? What do I want to do? My responsibilities. The 10th house is success, achievement, responsibilities, like in general. And Venus is going to go from the 29th degree and end it and move into the 12th house. When Venus moves into the 12th house, it brings to light all topics that have to do with bringing people, places, and things together and wanting to please or give. But what we give is more practical. It's love becomes more practical. So it's not lovey-dovey like it is now. Venus in Leo is sentimental and huggy and kissy and like beautiful flowers and things like that. When Venus moves into Virgo, it's I saw this great book and you would probably like this book, or it's practical help, it's practical advice, it's you doing practical things, or making sure that what you are giving to somebody is not just a tchotchke or a dust collector. It's something that they would love, value, and use. This is your 12th house of you going within and identifying what are your dreams and what does this connection mean for you? Now, Mercury is going to be stationing retrograde on the same day at 4 degrees. It's not going to activate any of your major, no planets, but it will be in your 12th house. It's going to go from your 12th house into your 11th house. When Mercury stations retrograde in the 12th house, it kicks up the past. It kicks up topics of affliction, hospitalizations, institutions, prisons, being in a prison in my mind, the broken record. When Mercury stations retrograde, it gives me this opportunity to say, oh, I connect this with this. I should be able to release myself from this. Now that I identify it, I can clear this. I can heal and renew from this pain. It's like this trigger of something that happens, and then you saying, where did this come from? How do I heal from it? Oh, once I've identified from it, I can either go to a counselor, go to a mentor, go see somebody, go talk to a spiritual retreat. I need rest. I need to meditate. I need to soak in a nice, warm, bubbly bath of water, but I need to get the guidance, and I need to release and let go. And so Mercury is going to be bringing up some things from your past, an opportunity to heal and grow. I do like it because like if we're going to have Mercury station retrograde, let it be in a harmonious aspect to your own Mercury, which is down here, and Neptune. So we know that this is going to have topics that have to do with your home and people that are like your past, your foundation, your living situation. So this might have you getting rid of some things that are in your home that because this is in a harmonious aspect, green and green, and then it's going to dip into your 11th house. I like that it's going to have you go back over and say, I'm now ready to release this, let go of this, heal from this, understand this, and not just be numb to something. And then when Mercury goes back into your 11th house, it will be connecting you with specific groups or social connections. It'll be organizations, teams, creativity, social circle, networks where you connect with other people that are like kindred spirits. And so when Mercury goes back into your 11th house, it's having you take a look at some of your groups or networks and saying, do I still belong here? Do I still want to be in this? And if I do, what is the role that I want to play? Do I want to take a lead in this? Do I want to move forward with this? So for me, it would be like clearing out the clutter of groups that I like, Facebook groups, Instagram, like who do you follow, TikTok, YouTube. It's taking where do you spend your energy and saying, how do I clear that out? And what still calls to me? And Mercury rules over your 9th house. And so we know that this definitely has something to do with travel and like making the plans to go somewhere, making these plans to do these things. Hold on. I do want to give you a heads up on a couple of days. This Jupiter, I don't remember the dates of your travel. I thought you said you had travel going on in August, but I'm not 100% sure. So Jupiter conjunct Mars, it's going to be great. And it's high, low, like quick low. So Jupiter conjunct Mars is, I want to go there. I want to make this happen. I want to do this. And then the very next day, Jupiter is going to square Saturn. How can I go there? How can I do this? I feel all this responsibility. I can't make this happen. Oh yeah, Jake took away the computer, but I got it back now. Sorry. I should take a picture of this sometime because literally I have like 3 computer screens in front of me. Sorry. All right. Okay. All right. And I'm going to pull up her chart now and take a little look at hers also. All right. August 15th. I see it. Let's talk about it. Okay. August 14th. Mars is going to conjunct Jupiter. I want to initiate. I want to go there. Yay, fun. The 15th. Mars squares Saturn. How can I make this happen? I have all these responsibilities. My day-to-day life. It's sitting on top of your own Mars. You are going to have a Mars square Mars. I always get pulled back. I feel like a slave to this. I need to be able to release this. I encourage you to have a backup plan for anything that has to do with home. Your pup, your kitten, your dad, the everything. That way, when you go, going is good. Going is good because it'll be high, low, low. Full moon on the 19th. Jupiter is going to square Saturn. That'll be, I want to go here. I want to do this. I have these grand ideas. I want to go. And it's like a lot of information all at one time. And Saturn again in your 6th house of the 6th house is where we take care of others, but it's also our health and it's our daily routine and it's where it's coworkers and employees and it's how do I take care of myself and why do I always feel restricted and why do I always feel pulled back to this? And a square is Jupiter says, let's expand and let's go see and let's do. And Saturn wants to restrict and pull back. And if you remember a couple of times ago when you got together and there were phone calls and like have a backup plan for the backup plan. Also the 20th. And there's a full moon on the 19th. I love full moons. Just know that they're endings, they're closures, they're yeah, a beautiful full moon, but it's going to have stuff attached to it like that square. And then on the 20th, Jupiter's going to square Saturn again. So whatever this square is, there's going to be another one in December. It's about challenging relationships, guilt. Yeah. Let me look one more time and see what else I've got. Okay, I'm going to pull up her chart. Okay, I'm going to pull up her chart just to see like where this is going, because I'm thinking this is home related for you, and responsibility and being pulled back. And sorry, let me pull up all her information. I know I have her information, but I don't. Oh, wait, 31. Fudge. Omni, I got this. Alrighty. All right. Oh, for crying out loud. Let's take a look at this. All right. She's having the new moon right here, her travel sector. This is all about new moon, fresh start, clean slate, new beginning. I forgot that you guys were like connected like that. She wants to start something fresh, a new beginning. It's going to be like this August 4th. It's absolutely going to be beautiful. And so making these plans to go and do this, she is going over something that has to do with her job, like responsibilities, things like that. On August 14th, she's going to have, hold on, let me get rid of this so you can see it. This is going to be partnership. Jupiter, expansion, her chart ruler, you. It's you. Jupiter in the partnership is in a Sagittarius rising, means your partner is like taking center stage. And so like this is you in her chart. And Mars, I want to initiate this. Let's go do this. Like her really saying, let's explore. Let's go do this. Absolutely fantastic. Her taking the initiative, her taking the lead. Absolutely love this. And then the very next day, Mars is going to square Saturn in her fourth house of home. Mars, where she initiated what she wants to do. This could also have to do with contracts. Remember, it's the +1 house, so it's best friends, significant others. This could be with negotiations, contracts, all of these things, because Mercury is retrograde at this time. Mars is going to be in a disagreement with Saturn in her home, which is like really close to her north node. Like, what does home look like? Why are we arguing about this? How can we avoid this? So just a heads up, because she wants to take the initiative, and then there can be this uncomfortable, how do we talk about this? How do we bring it up? Because bigger than life, seeing everything bigger than life. Then on the 19th, Jupiter is going to square Saturn. So Jupiter is now going to take its turn. Jupiter says, again, partnership, expanding, religion, philosophy, ideas, travel, connection. Let's do this. And Saturn wants to restrict. Well, I have to be here. I have to do this. I can't go there. I can't. This could be you saying that you can't do some of these things that she wants to do. And there will be this, how do we work through this? There's going to be these yay positive, and then this pullback of, I feel like we're liberated. I feel like there's this freedom. I feel like there's this new connection. And then I feel like there's this constriction or restriction. And so, yeah, I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you, because it's meant to bring about conversation. Don't look at anything as all positive or all negative. I look at it as you have the information ahead of time, and you can say these topics might come up, and on these days there's going to be like great things that are going to be happening, like great things that are going to be happening. And then there's going to be the, well, how do we get to this? How do we move towards this? I mean, there's dates on here that I'm just saying I need to stay away from people, and like this new moon is absolutely fantastic, but the 5th, I'm calling, okay, I didn't put it on any of my videos, but I'm calling it the eye of the storm, because you don't realize what's going on. Like, we have all this abundance coming, and then we have this pullback, and then we have positive again, and then we have pullback. Everything will be quick, impulsive, fast, like fast recovery. And it's not meant to be, it's meant to be like, let's start something. Let's have open communication. Let's work through this. How can we negotiate this? I want this too. And in the partnership sector, it's going to be this opportunity for you to, I like it. I know it makes you a little bit anxious because it hits both of you in the same areas of your chart, but now that you know that you need to have a backup plan for, daddy-o, then make some things happen and say, no, I need to be thinking about me and my happiness, my joy, my everything, because this is time. This is definitely like your time to and she's going to remind you, and that'll be part of the square. She's going to remind you to think about yourself, and that could be part of the, okay, I'm not going to read the email, I'm not going to read the text. Have a backup plan so you don't have to go back home, or you don't have to be involved in anything that brings you back, that you can stay in the moment and explore. I'm excited for you. Like, keep me up to date. All right. I heart you. Thanks. All right. Let me see who is next in the queue. Thank you for your patience. Shiny gems. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. Shiny gems. Yeah. It's going to be something similar. Grand Chiefess, thank you for those beautiful flames there. And Shiny Gems, thank you for the heart. I really appreciate it. All right. Let me see. Pull up my next favorite person.
That's rare. R-A-I-R.
All right. R-A-I-R. I got this. All right. Let's see here. 6:53. Is your time 6:53 a.m. or p.m.? It makes a big difference. So if you can hit me up in the queue and let me know, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, thank you. a.m. I got it. All right. All right. I want to know when the sky will be lucky for a job offer. I have a final interview on the 19th of August. Oh, the 19th. That's the full moon. Okay. Not sure if this is it or if I have other opportunities. Let's talk about that. A final interview on a full moon. Okay. All right. Oh, you have a lot of Saggy and Scorpio energy. And the eclipses are going through your first house and partnership. All right, I see it. Let's do a bi-wheel and let's talk about the full moon. Hold on here. I'm going to animate it and get it to the full moon.
She's a noob.
Oh, you're okay. Oh, for crying out loud. Hold on. Give me 1 second. When did I say it was? The 20th. Okay. I don't know what I did. Hold on. Mother. Whenever I try and do anything different, it's just bad. It's just bad all the way around. Sorry. I'm not going to do that. I wish I was more technology, got it. I'm not. All right, let's talk about this. All right, so I felt all the eclipses and I cannot wait that Chiron stops retrograding. It's already being, okay, Chiron's going to be retrograde for a while. Yeah, and in your partnership sector, I'm sure that you're definitely feeling it. Yeah, it's going to be crossing your partnership sector. All right, so let me go back to the new moon, and then I want to talk about the full moon. You have brand new things starting. It'll be on the 4th of this month. You've got Mercury stationing retrograde. It's going to go back from your 12th house and into your 11th house. So Mercury, thoughts, ideas, and communication, rules over your house of travel, technology, cross-cultural education, religion, spirituality, and it rolls over your 12th house. And so whenever Mercury stations retrograde, it's rethinking, reviewing, revising, and in your 12th house, it's I need to heal and renew. It's going to go back into your 11th house. When it joins this cluster here, it'll be throughout the month of August. If you sign this contract, which, like a full moon, like you're going to have, I don't even know where to begin with this. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be like flustered, but when somebody has like they're going to have the final interview on the 19th of August. So it's the 19th is the Jupiter square Saturn. So you have Jupiter right here, and it's going to square Saturn in your 6th house. So let's talk about the days that lead up to it. On the 4th, you're going to have a new moon. Absolutely. Plant those seeds. It's in your 11th house of who are you connected to, your hopes, your dreams, your goals. I would definitely put out there everything that I want, business-wise, career-wise, connection-wise. This is, I need to connect with the right people who are going to get me in for the job that I want. I'm not digging on the 5th. The 14th, Mars conjunct Jupiter. This is when Mars and Jupiter are going to be together. Mars is, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go after it. I'm going to put that application in. I'm going to teach that class. I'm going to do that workshop. I'm going to do this. Jupiter is expanding whatever you are doing to everybody in the sign of Gemini. Gemini are thoughts, ideas, communication, multitasking, doing two things at one time. What comes from this is sometimes scattered energy. The very next day, whatever you are trying to start or initiate or go after, Mars is going to square Saturn. So Mars, what you're initiating is squaring Saturn. How can I balance my home and my work life? Saturn is in Pisces in your 6th house of your daily work. My mental, physical, spiritual health, emotional well-being. How do I balance home and work? How do I have healthy boundaries? The very next, on the full moon, Jupiter is going to square Saturn. Jupiter wants to expand. Saturn wants to restrict. When you go to this interview, there's going to be this full moon of being very emotional, wearing your feelings, like feeling it. You're like connecting. There will be an ending. Full moons always bring about closures and endings, and they bring about things that were hidden or in the dark. This could be something about, okay, so the moon rules your career sector. So this could be something about the job or something about your responsibilities that are within the job. I'll be interested to find out like what comes from this, because August is just volatile. August is a month of highs, lows, and Mercury retrograde, having us go back over things. You have the eclipses literally having you focus on who am I? Who am I in relationship to other people? Who am I with healthy boundaries with friends, significant others, clients, one-on-one relationships? The North Node in Aries since last August had you initiating connections with others. The seventh house is love and contractual relationships and contracts and legal matters, social contracts and promises. You have been working on yourself since last September, October. And then the eclipses have been, how do I release, where I'm always trying to take care of everybody else before myself, and how do I go after and initiate things for myself. As a sun in Libra and a Libra rising, number one, Libra is always naturally beautiful, and they're people pleasers. And for the first 28, 29, 30 years of their life, they are learning to negotiate where I don't always have to take what is mine to fill up somebody else's. And so Libra wants to hear both sides of the story, but they want to be the judge and the jury. They want to hear all sides of the story. They can play both sides of it. They want, that's what you have been working on. And so the South Node is, how do I release, knowing, like having to know all of that and going after what is in my best interest first, and not always keeping everybody else's best interest at heart first. This fall, the eclipses are going to be moving into your 12th and your 6th areas of your life. The 12th house is releasing myself from karma, and the 6th house will be, the 6th house is my day-to-day habits of, I have to take care of me. Mentally, physically, I need to find a mentor. I need to find a guide. I need to be focused on my self-care. And so currently, you're focused on yourself and partnership and healthy boundaries. This fall, the shift is going to move into balancing home and work. And so you have Pluto in Aquarius in your 5th house, like the full moon stuff is going to be here. I really think that there's going to be some things that are going to be coming to light or uncovered or discovered during this full moon. You never looked at you've never had your chart looked at before. Oh, well, we'll have to talk about that sometime. You did feel the eclipses. Yeah. Okay. So let's just talk about why you felt so much, and let me backtrack out of here for just a second. I'm gonna do one chart, like just your chart for just a second, so you can, just to give you a quick heads up. The top 3 things that everybody should know about their own chart is your sun, your moon, and your rising. You know those 3 things about somebody, then you know a good chunk about them. Your sun is in Libra, and it's your rising sign. If you think about this chart, this is what you're rising to be. You're trying to learn to be this. Your moon is in Sagittarius. Like, you have these great thoughts. You want to connect with other people. The 3rd house is where I make friends. It's my relationships with my neighbors and my siblings, and it's initiating things. It's wanting to have this connection, but it's wanting to have higher beliefs and thoughts and ideas. And so these things together, I'm sure you've seen everybody else's charts as we've looked at. This is considered to be a stellium. Whenever you have 3 or more planets in a house, the energy is concentrated. You have 2 stelliums. Everybody's chart is unique and different. Yours is focused on Scorpionic and Sagittarius energy in this lifetime. And how do you navigate that personally? You are working on yourself in this lifetime. So I'm hoping all of this helped you and it makes sense for you. And I will be interested to find out about the person, the PR person, I'm surprised that on a full moon that they would, a full moon during Mercury retrograde. But look at it as a positive. This could also be, I don't mind a Mercury retrograde second go round for an application, because it means that they are going to take a second look at you. And so there could be some positive with that. All right, thank you. Thank you very much for trusting me. All right, let me see who is next in the queue. Elaine. Thank you for waiting, Elaine. All righty. All right, Elaine, I'm going to take a look at your chart first, and then the question. Does it appear likely that my husband and I may reconcile? Okay. Oh, you're a Pisces. Pisces rising. And your sun in Capricorn. Slow and steady wins the race. You have a lot of Capricorn energy, girlfriend. That is a lot of stable, like, here's the goal, this is what I want, without knowing everything that's going on. I want to give you the positive that comes with all of this Capricorn energy, and I want to give you the drawbacks to it. The positive, because you have Sun, Saturn, Mercury, Neptune, and Aquarius. Sun, where I shine with the sign of Capricorn. I can pick a goal. I can make it to the top of the mountain. I can have less food, less air, less water, and I'm going to make it. Saturn, you can restrict anything that you want with me because I will get there. Mercury, and I can communicate it. I want to communicate with people in a methodical way that makes sense. And it's no frou-frou, like there's no lying, there's no fuzzy stuff in there. It's let's be realistic. Neptune is hard in Capricorn because Neptune is my faith and my hope and my belief, and it's in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is rigid and structured. It's watery, so we have water and earth here. And then we have Uranus. Uranus is shock, surprise, like earthquake. Like, it takes an earthquake for you to change your direction in life. And that's what Uranus does to you. Uranus says, I'm going to give you all of this stable energy, and then I'm going to need you to be flexible when it's time to get out, to get out. That means on anything, not just relationship, like anything, because it's in your 11th house of, these are my goals. This is what I want to do. This is my aspiration. This is what I want. And when you set your sight on something, think of it as you have horse blinders on, and you are an immovable force that nobody should mess with. It just doesn't happen. All right, let me look at the bi-wheel. Hold on, Tonto. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so the new moon on the 4th, on August 4th, is going to happen in your 6th house of, I need to take care of myself. I need to get rid of these bad habits. The 6th house is where we get rid of things that are not good for us, or that we make a plan to do things better. So I'm going to walk more often. I'm going to make sure I meet with my lady group. I'm going to make sure I hit up the chiropractor. I'm going to focus on my health, my mental, physical, spiritual, emotional health and well-being. That would be a new moon in the sign of Leo in your 6th house. Those are like your new moon intentions that you need to focus on. You are going to be having a lunar return. the lunar, like moon and moon, if that makes sense. Your moon is conjunct your moon. And we have the south node here. What are you letting go? What is holding you back from being 100% healthy? What is giving you stress, anxiety, bad dreams, all of these things? I have to let go of this. Leo is fun and joy and playful. I need joy and pleasure in my life. What's coming from all of this also is Mercury is in your 7th house. It's going to go to 4 degrees and then it's going to station retrograde and come back into your 6th house. Mercury might bring your partner back in. Mercury in the 7th house brings best friends, significant others, exes. It brings them back into our life. Whenever they come back in, sometimes it's for a second go round and sometimes it's for closure. And so Mercury is going to be retrograde the majority of August. So you're going to have Mercury going back, and then you are going to be identifying, what does this mean for my health, my mental, my physical, my spiritual health, well-being, before you recommit or reconnect with that person. Because this is contracts, it's cooperation, it's trust, and it's your one-on-one relationships. Venus is going to move into your 7th house of partnership. Venus is, I need things that are practical. I don't want the flowers. I want practicality in like what the person, this is you giving to others and others giving to you in what you would appreciate. Let's see. Let's talk. I'm going to give you those dates and give you a little, oops, I just kicked my dog. Sorry. Let's talk about a couple of dates. So you know the new moon. The next date I want to bring your attention to is the 14th. Now, Mars and Jupiter are going to form a conjunction, which means that they're going to merge their energy together. Mars is, I want to initiate. Jupiter is, I want to expand. On the 14th, it's going to be, I need to expand something within my home, or I need to do something within my home. Like you're having a Mars opposition, something that has to do with your career, your job, your responsibility, and it is opposing something that has to do with your home. The 4th house represents your living situation. And so this is, what do I do about this living situation? I need to have an open mind. I need, like Jupiter is beliefs and religion and spirituality, and it's travel and it's connection. Now, Mars is going to connect here. So think fierce, loyal, go after, want. Mars is the warrior. The very next day, Mars is going to square Saturn. Saturn is in your 1st house of self. Mars is a person who, like this could be a family member or somebody who's living in the house, or somebody that is connected with the house, who is now in a tense aspect with who you are, your identity, crossing boundaries, like not happy, and that something needs to be worked out, like a conversation needs to be had. And then on the full moon, Jupiter's going to square Saturn. Jupiter wants to expand and Saturn wants to restrict. And so we know that this has everything to do with you, your identity, your appearance, you being seen, your home, your desires, your habits. And I really need you to, I don't need you to do this. I'm requesting you to stop and pause and think about the end. I know that as a Pisces rising, you want to feel at one with everybody, and you have so much earth in your chart. It's grounded. Sometimes Saturn or Capricorn energy doesn't know when to stop. And so you're going to have to make a decision of, is it now? Do we try? Do we not? There's going to be ample opportunities that are going to reveal themselves, especially with the full moon that's coming up and these 2 squares. So this month will give you all of the ideas, all of the vision of what is to come, I wouldn't make a decision until the 29th. When Mercury starts to go direct, I would then move forward with my decision, because all of the true colors of partnership are going to come out during this Mercury retrograde for you. And it has everything to do with partner and home, you, and a tense aspect of, can I work this out? Do I cut my losses or do I go? So I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. I'm hoping all of this makes sense. Thanks, Elaine. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me with your natal chart on here. Hopefully, I'm going to look in the chart and see if you have any questions about it. And again, write down those dates. It'll help you. And actually, those dates are not exactly on that date. Anytime that there's this big transit, it's the days that lead up to it. Anytime there's a square, it's like the anger or the tension is building. And when the person says or does something, like, it's usually a snap at somebody else, and it's not about that thing. It's about whatever that was building. So this will be, yay, positive building, and then, things are difficult. While I have your chart still up, I do want to let you know about like something, yay, to look forward to, like in your future. You are going to be having a Jupiter return, and it's going to start next May. I think it'll be next May. Jupiter stays in a sign for a year. And so Jupiter, it takes 12 years to cycle around, and you're going to be having a Jupiter return. So all of this that you are going through now is going to be offering you this opportunity to freedom, liberation, and expansion. Yeah. All right. Thanks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate all of you being on here tonight. I hope that you join me for my webinar series. It's $30. I run it similar to this, except for it's a private Zoom where we are together, and I offer slides that I explain what the next cycle is going to be about, and then we unmute ourselves, and then I go through each of the signs letting you know about it, and you have access to that afterwards, so in case you can't be there live. And I hope to see you again in another 2 weeks, and pay attention to the videos that are coming out, because I'm putting them out early because the energy is like really, normally August is fun and vacation and get out there. This August is, yay, I'm having a great time. And then, oh, it's very difficult, or it's tense. And there's Mercury retrograde. And definitely pay attention to wherever Mercury is retrograding in your chart, because the area of your life that you're struggling with Mercury, Mars is going to come around December and January and cut away some things. So I hope you stay in touch with me. And all right, I heart you. Bye.